Hi guys and girls, welcome. I've got a special guest today. This is Martin. Martin is an owner of a gym up in Lincolnshire, isn't it, Martin?
Yeah, we're kind of Nottinghamshire, Lincolnshire border, kind of right in the middle there, really.
And it's Arena Health and Fitness, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Right, welcome, Martin. What I'm going to do is get you to give you an intro into you, your business, and then we'll go from there and get the interaction going.
Yeah, fantastic, yeah.
So, tell us about you and your gym.
Yeah, so basically, I am the proud owner of Arena Health and Fitness. So it's a gym that's been around in the town where I grew up for quite a while. It must have been going for about 30 years now. Formerly known as Arena Fitness. I bought the gym at the age of 23, 24 from the previous owner. So I've now been in ownership for about 7 years, and yeah, loved every minute of it. We've now sort of converted because we've gotten bigger. We're now a limited company as well from how it worked previously. And then yeah, I've also got a business partner now as well. So there's a co-owner on board with me, which was something which I'd sort of thought about for a little while after originally owning the place on my own for 5 or 6 years. And one of the PTs who was working from Arena Fitness expressed a real interest in becoming, part of the setup of the gym. And yeah, we had a few discussions. He came on board, and it was just at the right time because I was looking at potentially moving premises, because the last place was a little bit limited in terms of space and size and car parking and stuff like that. So yeah, he came on board, and we managed to do obviously a joint project then of moving premises to where we are now, which probably tripled the floor space that we had before. Yeah, we've got a huge car park now as well, and we're just able to offer tons and tons more stuff that we couldn't offer before.
That's really cool. So, Martin, tell us, why did you become a PT, or what got you into the industry?
It's been a lifelong interest, really. At school, I was, one of the sporty ones. I was always, enjoying the PE and the sports and doing sports out of school and stuff like that. And I think, as you reach that sort of age at school where you're, thinking about careers and stuff like that, whatever avenue people suggested or people said I was good at, I was always personally drawn back to sport and fitness and health and stuff like that. Um, and I think my parents had a few reservations about pursuing a career in the fitness industry because they probably didn't quite see the longevity in it. I don't think, they probably saw that, you might be a fitness instructor for a few years or whatever, and but what after that? But I had it in my head that's what I wanted to do. And yeah, I think in terms of narrowing it down then as to wanting to be a PT, I think that came from when I was sort of reaching the last year or so at school. We had a gym set up on site at the school. And yeah, as pupils were allowed to go in there and use it. So it kind of gave me an intro into lifting weights and stuff like that. And I think, part of me probably got a little bit swept along with the other lads, the whole sort of who can lift the most and who's the strongest and stuff like that. But in the back of my mind, I always felt like things should be done a proper way, and it wasn't just a simple case of chucking weights around and you will get bigger and stuff like that. So yeah, I think I kind of from that point onwards thought, yeah, this is for me really. So yeah, I mean, I knew that there was various possibilities and opportunities and stuff, but I think at the time, as a teenager and stuff, I think I think I was um, more pushed towards doing the one-to-one stuff. Um, so I managed to get my first job at that actual gym that was connected to the school. I was given a role there, put on a very, very sort of basic fitness instructing qualification, which I didn't learn a lot from, but at least it gave me the opportunity to get started. Few months after that, there was an opportunity to come up at the local leisure centre nearby, which is a really, really big leisure centre, very, very well used. So yeah, I applied for a position there. Initially was turned down, which I was told was because of age and inexperience. You know, I was only sort of 17 at the time, but it turned out that the person they did give it to decided to pursue something else. And although the two sort of leisure centre managers had put it down to my age, the third person that interviewed me was the gym supervisor, and she actually said to the two guys, "Look, our original candidate said no. Yes, Martin's young, but I really like him." So they got me back in. Yeah, and I started working there. They put me through another fitness instructor course, which luckily turned out to be with a much, much better provider. And I learned an incredible amount from following their fitness instructor course. And it was one of those things where once I'd sort of completed that course, I knew straight away. I thought, I know what I'm doing here. I really feel like I've learned stuff. I know how to train people, devise programs for people, stuff like that. And the motivation and stuff from there just snowballed. I mean, I kind of got used to that role for a little bit first, having done that qualification. But within a year or so, I was only sort of 18, possibly 19 max, when I then took on did the personal training diploma with the same training provider. And I didn't actually use that straight away, the PT sort of qualification. It wasn't something that I thought, yes, I want to get out of there and be doing this straight away. I just wanted that knowledge, but knew that being at that leisure centre would give me loads and loads of experience, which it did, and it really stood me in good stead.
Do you feel nowadays is everyone thinks a PT course is done on the back of a cereal box and hasn't really gone through like your apprenticeship? You could almost say what you did was a style of apprenticeship, couple of courses, 2 or 3 years, you know, really working and getting to know the gym, how to like communicate with people in the gym. And I think that is not these days at all in any of it. I think the business side of it is just as important as the aspect of how to train people, you know, take care of them properly, safely, select the right selection of exercises, right selection of nutrition, etc., etc., etc. What are your opinions on that? Do you feel the same, or is it?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's such a positive industry. I can, you know, you totally see why so many people get drawn to pursuing a career doing it. As a gym owner, sort of certainly since I've had the gym myself, you know, I regularly get approached by people wanting to do work experience, maybe people asking about fitness qualifications, PT courses, stuff like that. And one of the biggest things I always say to people is, firstly, choose the course for the right reason. Don't go with it because it's cheap. Don't go with it because it's, oh, well, there's a deal on Groupon or something like that, because there's a reason why they're advertising on those places. The top providers, you kind of hunt them out. Do you know what I mean? It's not a case of they're in your face, sign up with us. Normally the top providers are people who, you will end up coming across them, and you'll find out, why they are so good at what they do. So yeah, I always say to people, find the right provider, because I want people to feel how I felt when I'd done that fitness instructing course, and feel like, wow, God, I really know what I'm doing here, and I know how to coach people and train people. And that was just from the fitness instructor part, let alone when I did the PT section later on. But another thing as well is, I'll get people asking about how to start out, but then I'll also get the people who maybe already done a qualification, and they might come to me for advice. They might say, is there any opportunities at Arena, at my gym? Is there any spaces for PT, any vacancies, or do I know of anywhere else and stuff? And again, my first question to them is, what experience have you got working in a gym? And, a lot of the time you'll hear stuff, oh, well, I've not actually worked in a gym before, but, I've always trained in gyms. I love training. I love this. And I've got my qualification and stuff now. But I always say to them, look, you've got to get some foundations first. And I'll say, yes, you've got your PT qualification, but my recommendation to you is start at the bottom, look for a job as a fitness instructor, which we all know is low paid. Do you know what I mean? It's not great from a financial point of view, but the experience that you will get from doing that will be invaluable. I mean, like I say, with me, the leisure centre was a particularly busy one, but it meant that I came across so many different types of people. We ran a GP referral scheme, which was very, very successful. So again, the experience of working with people with all kinds of injuries and medical conditions and stuff like that, it just gave me tons and tons of experience and knowledge, really, so that when I did then branch out to become a PT, a freelance PT, I felt ready for most situations, really.
Where do you find that 90%, like, obviously we've both been in the industry a jolly long time.
Yeah.
For the folks out there, they don't know how we met. I'll give them a brief. We met through a course provider. We're not going to mention names on here for several reasons. And Alan and we know Martin. We can have a giggle about that, and a certain person might say otherwise. So we'll leave names out of it. But at the same time, folks, Martin and I both met through this provider, and I can vouch for this guy. He is very meticulous with his training. I would almost say borderline anal in certain ways. But Martin went through the what I would call probably the best way to really set some foundations for becoming a PT, a successful PT. It's very easy to become a PT. It's not easy to become a successful PT. Now, if people, we planted out our roadmaps, they're totally different. You did the apprenticeship way. I came in this industry and hit it absolutely hard. I can remember month on month of looking back at certain times and just going, oh my God, what have I done? But I persisted. I actually broke a record with a gym which is no longer, I think there are 1 or 2 gyms in London still running, but I owned the record for conversion rates in a calendar month outside of London with this certain gym brand. Now, I was there from 6 a.m. till 10 p.m. Monday to Friday, every day. I set myself 50 people to speak to every single day, regardless if it was about training or not, to build that rapport up. Now, I'm not saying your way is wrong and you're not saying my way is wrong, but what we're trying to say is, guys, you have to work your socks off. It isn't this fashionable job that everyone thinks, oh yeah, wicked, I can do 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours at night. No, it's harder than that, because if you're going to limit yourself to only 6 hours a day, and 6 hours, Martin, what do you charge an hour going rate now?
Going rates roughly £30 to £40 an hour.
Okay, so you're looking at 240 quid a day. Okay, yes, to some people that's a lot of money per day, but in the grand scheme of a PT, that isn't high money at all. I was doing $2,000 a week at times, but was it this particularly 6 hours a day of work? No, it wasn't. It was 12, 13 hours a day. Getting up at 5 in the morning, getting home at 10 p.m. I can remember one year I did 4:45 until 10 p.m. for 11 months solid. And what came out of it? Oh, yeah, I got chronic fatigue syndrome. So guys, girls, you've really got to be passionate and dedicated to this job. It's not a glorified job that everyone really, really thinks it is. So, like I say, Martin went down one route, I went down the other route. Now, Martin, obviously we've gone down different routes. You're still in the industry. I'm still on the borders and the fringes of the industry. My opinion of this industry, now I'd like your opinion of my opinion, is I think it's gone downhill rapidly. And one of the reasons I brought you on here today is because you are a gym owner. You're also a PT. You've got how many PTs at your gym now? 5?
We have got, 5, that's right, yeah.
5. The 5 PTs. Now, obviously, you have probably got them on a rental scheme, yes?
Yes, that's it, yeah.
Okay, now, me knowing you quite well, I would say you're pretty fair. You're not here to rip people off. Now, how many gyms out there actually help their PTs, actually push their PTs, and support their PTs? Do you think that industry is right in this? We're responsible as experienced PT. Yeah. Do you think that the industry should be responsible for helping new generations come into this industry so they can deliver quality personal training? Or is it a case of you've passed your qualification on the back of the cereal box and good luck, see you later?
Do you know what? I think these days, everybody seems to just look at the numbers all the time. Everybody wants to have as many clients as possible, earn as much money as possible, probably do as little work as possible and stuff like that. And, going back to sort of starting out and stuff, again, I'll tell you now, my very, very first PT client who I took on. So yeah, if I did my PT course, age about 19, probably a year or so after that, I was approached by somebody who asked if I would train her son, who teenage lad, very, very overweight. I ended up going out to their house twice a week, running up and down this lane where they lived and doing all kinds of things with this lad just to try to get him moving a bit and stuff. And unfortunately now I can't imagine many new PTs willing to do that, because it wasn't glamorous, it wasn't cool, do you know what I mean? I'd rock up in my scruffs because I knew we'd be up and down this lane, and it was probably not a nice time of year. The weather was sometimes not very nice, but to me it was a starting point, it was experience. But yeah, I definitely think now it's, like I say, it just seems to be all about the volume. One of the things I've come across literally this week is I keep coming across a lot of trainers on social media and stuff, a lot of PTs discussing these sort of software options for PTs, which in essence is, it's a great idea. You can keep records of people a lot easier, and you can keep in contact with people easier, and stuff like that. And I thought there was one particular software, which again I won't name any names on it, seemed to crop up quite a lot. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, I use X. It's brilliant," and really good reviews and stuff about it. And yeah, a few nights ago, I thought I'm going to take a look, because at the minute I don't use software and stuff. I'm very much
Old school.
yeah, I'm very personal and stuff. I like, I have branched into some online coaching, but, my kind of main thing will always be face to face, working with clients in the gym and getting to know people better. But I totally see where there's certainly scope for the online stuff. It's a great idea. But yeah, this type of software anyway, this particular one that's cropped up a lot, I thought I'm going to sign up to it, take a look at it and stuff, and just see what people are, kind of raving about. So I signed up to it, and I think like most of them, I think you normally get like a month free trial and stuff like that. So I signed up for it, and within an hour, I'd emailed them and said, close my account, because I was absolutely horrified. Sign up process dead easy, signing clients up, put the details in dead easy. But then there's two parts to it. There's a nutrition part, which I didn't even get as far as looking at, because for the actual training and exercise stuff itself, like I say, it was pretty horrifying. They got some sample programs and stuff. So rather than like I do now, and generally will continue to do so, I write out or type up each and every program for every client, because they're totally personal to that individual. These sample programs and stuff, you could play around a little bit with them. But for example, there was beginners one program, and I thought, let's click on this and have a look at this. And in beginners program one, there were some of the most advanced exercises you could have chose. It was crazy. I continued having a look through it and stuff, and I looked at, so what you could also do then, you can click on the exercises within that program and watch a little video demonstration of how they're done.
Yeah. Man, that was
so
fun.
I started looking through the videos, and again, I thought I watched the one on squats, because I thought that's something that you're either doing it right or wrong. There's no in between on that. And fair enough, the squats video was pretty cool. But then there were other exercises where there was EZ French presses, and they were telling you to force your elbows right in together in the middle. They were coming up and locking out elbows, which was quite a theme on a lot of the videos, locking out joints, knees, elbows, stuff like that. And I just thought, do you know what? The quality of this is so poor, and yet there's so many of these trainers out there raving about it, saying how great it is. And all it spelt out to me was, get as many people as possible signed up, forget the quality, let's just sign up, give them these generic programs, and just see the money rolling. I think that's what they're hoping for.
I can say the same with just online. I've prepped people, internationally as well as in the UK. No, not naming a very popular female celebrity bodybuilder or bikini girl in Australia. But this particular one, I had a 17-year-old girl come up to me at the gym in Oz, up in Queensland. goes, oh, but, I've been watching you. And I was like, oh, thanks. You really take great care of your clients. I was like, thanks. And she goes, you know quite a bit about stuff. And I said, yeah. She goes, so basically I'm looking to compete. And I was like, right, okay, I can do that. I can prep you to compete. Because I said to her, have you ever competed before? And she's like, no. I spoke to this certain person and I've emailed them, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, right, yeah. And she goes, she carried on with her story. I was like, all right, okay, tell me more. So, I said, right, so did this person ever give you, like, your nutrition plan as well? Yes. I was like, right, yeah, did they ask any questions about, any, issues you've ever had, like digestion issues, etc., etc.? She goes, no. I'll tell you one thing. I've been on over 800 calories for the last 2 years. I went, pardon? And she goes, yeah. I suffer from bulimia. I'm like, right. So tell me this. This woman didn't ask you that. No. Do you know what? She pumped her full of on her first program, not knowing, not even asking if she's had any issues with food or digestion issues, etc., etc. Slapped on 2,800 calories. But for the last 2 years, this girl's been suffering from bulimia, like recovered, for a while, but has not been on over 800 calories. And I was like, pardon? So yeah. She showed me these photos of her food. And I'm like, these are platefuls. These are like moundfuls of food for this poor girl. She's only 5'3", all of 7.5 stone, if that. And you just think, what the hell has this world come to? Like, and I know we're very old school. We learned a very old school way through a joint provider that we did our qualifications with. But the one and only thing that I'll always take on board from that certain provider is the day I've passed my qualifications was, you're actually a lethal gun of knowledge. I went, pardon? He goes, yeah, you're an actual lethal weapon of knowledge. You could technically kill someone. And I questioned that. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, yeah, technically you could kill someone. Might not happen tomorrow, but it might happen in 2 weeks, or it might happen in a month or 6 months. But at the same time, you could still kill someone with your knowledge. And it's stuck with me ever since. And I don't believe in this industry people actually acknowledge that. And you get horror stories like this. I actually dated a girl in Oz, and her last couple of weeks, probably last 3 or 4 weeks of her prep, she was 870 calories. 870 calories, 2 hours a day of cardio and an hour of weight training on 870 calories. How to mess up someone's hormones, let alone anything else. So yeah, I find the industry very frustrating at times and very strange. I actually asked my friend Sam, who's on a previous podcast of mine, about regulations. Now, I think we've both had run-ins with a certain company called Reps over the years. I don't even know if they're still existing. And if they are, good, great, awesome. But really, my issue with them and their regulations are, you do a spin class, you do for instance, I did one now, 2020. In 2 years' time, that is run out. But wait a second, I pay another between 5 and 900 quid for the course in 2 years' time. Oh, by the way, it hasn't changed. What's the difference? Do you think there should be a regulation company or a regulator to do with the fitness industry as a whole?
There's got to be, yeah, because I mean, like you say, reps are there as, supposedly to kind of almost be almost vetting people and making sure that they're keeping knowledge up to date and stuff like that. But I think they've got to be doing a lot more, because again, referring back to various people who've come to me for advice and stuff over the years, and people who've probably newly qualified as a PT and stuff. I've had multiple people come to me who've qualified with some of the UK's biggest providers, and they've not had a clue where to start. They've said, I don't know how to train people, I don't understand how to train people. And I'm thinking, you've just invested potentially a couple of thousand or more, depending on which provider you've gone with, in a qualification, and yet you've still come out of it not knowing or not feeling confident how to train someone. And you've got reps there who, you've got to pay to be on their register and stuff. And again, in essence, it's a good idea. And, they want people to do these sort of CPD courses and stuff and whatnot. But, again, the mutual sort of provider, like you've mentioned, who you and I trained up with, regardless of our sort of situation with that provider now, the one thing I will always say about them was they taught me how to train people.
Definitely.
Not just effectively, but how to safely train somebody as well. And they gave me total confidence.
I'll give them that due. Yes, it was drummed into us at a very, very early stage. From my point of view, as i.e., I have been a franchise of a providing company. I believe you were.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
We're not going to say the company. But at the same time, I believe we've gone on and taught our students the same way, but also probably advanced onto those courses of our own experiences. And this is where I don't think providers out there are teaching modern day PTs how to deal with modern day issues. Now, I could say one of the biggest issues is, i.e., speaking to people face to face. That's one. Especially when it comes down to money. That's a biggie. Two is how to run your business as a business, including social media in all of this. Okay, because, I've been trolled because I was a provider. I got trolled by a guy who compared a 3-year sports science degree to a personal training course. You can't do that. The common sense factor isn't there. Now, a lot of people would be put off by that, but they've paid out $2-3 grand in total. Oh, well, yeah, I've got this, but now look, I've been told I shouldn't be doing X, Y, and Z. I feel that the whole industry, especially now with this pandemic, okay, and this is my next question is going to go on to you in a minute, is I think all of this is going to change, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see how the industry does move forward from this point. What's your opinion on this moving forwards?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. It's something's definitely got to be done. I think a lot of people will get the qualification and maybe think that's it now. I'm a PT, I'm qualified and stuff. But I think maybe there should be more, not pressure, but more sort of guidance on still learning, progressing. Possibly pursuing. Like with PTs, they very often sort of will advertise and sell themselves as a weight loss expert, a fat loss expert, building muscle, building strength, and everything. And maybe it's a case of sort of pursuing one or two avenues of health and fitness rather than trying to be sort of know all of them. One of the areas I pursued which was really through when I was still employed at the leisure centre. It was something I was offered and took on, and have continued to kind of have this as a bit of a specialist area, was cardiac rehab. So I did a course with BA CPR, and it was a very, very incredibly in-depth course. It's a level 4 qualification, and it took a lot of work. It was several months studying and attending workshops and doing some studying and coursework and bits at home. But it was a very, very good quality course, and that enabled me then to work with clients with a cardiac history. So it could be something.
It's a bit like me in sports rehab. So
Exactly.
I specialise in that. Went off and did that.
Yeah.
Coincided with an England GB chiropractor. I worked alongside with him for over a year and a half. We Mickey Mouse and named it as I break them, he fixed them, and then vice versa. So yeah, I totally agree where you're coming from on that. But going forward with the industry now, I'd love to hear your opinion on this one. Is do you feel, especially nowadays, social media has this mass avenue of popularity, and there are people out there who aren't actually qualified doing this job, saying they're this, saying they're that. I'll coach you because I've done a bodybuilding competition, or I've done, I've prepped for a show. Now I'm going to prep you. Or, by the way, I had a motorbike accident, but I broke my leg in 4 places, tore my cruciate, and now I know the rehab of how to get back and walk again. Now, do you feel that social media should be, what's the word I'm looking for? Put a lot more control on what goes out, i.e., yes, if you are qualified. I think, again, it comes down to regulators. Now, regulators should have, maybe a barcode after you. You got your own separate digit barcode. You can display that barcode over all your media, and people can actually go on to say, I'm going to use the government as like an example, but it's a government website. Bang. Oh, there's Martin. Yes, he's a specialist in X, Y, and Z. He owns Arena Health and Fitness. Blah, 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 blah. What do you think to that?
Yeah, I mean, I always remember one of my really good friends saying to me, he said, and he doesn't work in the industry, he's a very successful guy, but doing something completely different. And he once said to me, he said, why is the fitness industry the only industry where everyone thinks they're an expert? He said, people might go to the gym and train for a year, and all of a sudden they know everything. They're coaching family and friends and saying this and saying that. And, it's great that people want to help other people out, but there comes a point where you've got to be very careful, because like you sort of touched on earlier with what you were told after you'd completed your PT course, the information and stuff that you're giving out is serious stuff. So yeah, I think in terms of how they go about that, like you say, with something that's connected to the government or whatever, I don't know, but yeah, there's got to be something where it's regulated a lot more, and it's potentially a little bit harder for people to get these qualifications until they've, whether it's a case of getting a qualification, but then having so many hours in employment before you can then go freelance as a PT or as a teaching classes or whatever it might be. There's definitely got to be something just to keep the standards high, really, and just kind of just vetting people that little bit more.
How do you vet your PT? Say, for instance, I said to you, Martin, I am moving up your way. You got position going. You say yes. How do you go from your point from that?
It always starts off with a bit of a chat first of all. Do you know what I mean? It will be nothing too serious to begin with because it's quite cool just to get to know the person first and get a sense of their personality and stuff. We do get approached quite a bit really for sort of PT positions and vacancies and stuff. But yeah, it'll always start off with a bit of a casual chat to begin with, just find out a little bit of background on them, and experience and qualifications and stuff. And then if they seem a reasonable candidate, we'll invite them back then for more of an interview, and have obviously a deeper conversation and stuff. Obviously we always check on, get copies of certificates and insurance and stuff like that. As long as they are qualified, we always like to make sure that they're the right fit and the right personality as well. We don't want somebody that's the loudest or somebody that says I've got all these clients or whatever. We want someone that's the right personality for the gym, because it's a very sort of family orientated gym. There's a great community and camaraderie amongst members. So the last thing we want is somebody to kind of come and sort of ruffle the feathers. And I mean, yeah, we're sort of lucky that, well, I say lucky, we've managed to come across PTs. We've got 2 or 3 guys who are sort of really quite experienced and brought that side of things to the table. But then we've also got our latest PT to join the team is quite a young guy, but again he had the qualifications and he had the personality. And going back to my first proper role in the industry, I had a line manager who was absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't have asked for anybody better. She became like a second mum to me, really, and I just learned so much from her. She really sort of nurtured them first few years of my career. So I think for me now, I see it as I want to give that back.
Yeah,
And help people and stuff. Like this young lad that's come on board with us and stuff now, it's nice to kind of feel that you're sort of helping him, sort of show him the way a little bit and stuff. And yeah, it's working well. But we certainly don't, we could easily take on another couple of PTs. Do you know what I mean? There's the demand is out there, but where quality not quantity, we'd rather have the right people.
definitely. Do you think that is where a lot of mainstream gyms are lacking, and it's a case of no, we want the revenue coming in. We don't care what we're putting out because we've got the numbers, and then the PTs struggle.
Yeah,
I used to run the biggest gym in the UK. I was manager there for 3 months as well as head PT for the whole time I was there. I had 14 personal trainers underneath me. And all it was got to get another PT in. Every other month we want a PT in. I'm like, mate, even though you've got 8,000 members there, and you've got a 44,000 square foot gym, it doesn't mean you're going to keep your PTs, because not everyone is going to want PT. And you've got probably 5 or 6 PTs who are literally killing it to death in there, doing a gazillion hours, and is literally like bits of floating fish flying around with the others picking up scraps. And so the quality just goes out the window, and it's just quantity. That
Yeah, absolutely.
can't have that. So, as a gym going forward from this, what obviously we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Mm.
Um, where do you see Arena Health and Fitness short term, say in the next 3 4 months? Where do you see them, this time next year? And then what's the plan, like, say, 2 years down the line for Arena Health and Fitness?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with the situation that we're all in at the minute, it's obviously put the brakes on things a little bit. Let's say we've been at these new premises. We moved in there at the end of November last year. So as I say, we were open for about 4 months there before this happened. So yeah, some of the things that we've kind of got, there were one or two new sort of things that we were starting to roll out, which obviously have now sort of been postponed. Um, First and foremost, we're waiting just for a bit more guidance on what guidelines there are going to be in the gym for reopening. I mean, it's one day you listen to the news and it very much sounds like there'll be loads of restrictions, and there'll be floor markings, there'll be capacity limitations, visit limitations, stuff like that. The next day sounds like things are going to get a bit more relaxed by then, and it might not be so much different to how it was before. But our initial thing is, we've been very, very fair with the members throughout the whole of this. Do you know what I mean? Right from the very start, our initial say that weekend that we had to close, um, our initial thing was freeze the memberships first and foremost. It was easier to do that, and then as we had people who were very, very kind to say, please can you reinstate, I want to keep paying, it was a lot easier to do it that way round than having people saying, oh well, why have you took my membership when the gym's not open? So we froze them straight away. We sent emails out to everybody. We made a private Facebook group for members as well, and just tried to keep in touch with absolutely everybody. We, as I say, we're quite a family gym really, and we've got people of all ages. So we've got quite a few older clientele who, because we couldn't reach out to them on email or social media, it meant giving them a call, which was absolutely fine. And they've given me and my business partner Graham, we've kept in touch with people over the phone and stuff as well. But yeah, it was just a case of not putting pressure on people to continue to pay, because we understand everybody's in a different situation. So we've made it totally clear that we incredibly value and appreciate those that have carried on paying, but we totally understand the ones that haven't carried on paying membership. We get it. We understand that people have been affected by this financially and in other ways. So not an issue. So the first couple of months of reopening really is going to be a case of just getting people back into the swing of things. I'm hoping, obviously, depending on safety and stuff like that, I'm hoping there won't have to be like a booking system for people to book in and stuff. Again, if that's what the government advise, absolutely fine. We will stick to that. But again, just thinking of that the older members, the older clientele having to book in and stuff, it's not convenient for those kind of people.
Honestly, see it being that's why they've left it towards the very, very end.
Yeah.
I feel like today the rumour mill is there's a lot of pressure on government to scrap the 2 metre rule at the moment.
Yes, I've heard that. Yeah.
Soon. Now, if that comes into play, then yes, it might be a case of, I think the worst case scenario come 4th of July, it will be you're allowed back in the gym. Worst case, you'll have to wear as a mask. You'll have to, the gyms will have to then have a lot more antibacterial wipes available. The cleanliness has to be A1 plus. all at all times. But the way the numbers are going, yes, we don't know the true figures. I don't think any country knows their true figures. Yes, like in Australia, I had an interview last night. I did another podcast last night at midnight last night with my mate in Oz. The protesting in Melbourne has come out today that they've had second wave because of this. I personally think once in this next week or so we hear a little bit more with what's gone over here, I feel that things will start to slowly come to by the 4th of July. And I can't see, like I say, worst case scenario is masks and a lot more antibacterial wipes. But
yeah, I mean, I think, as like you say, you know, I think the way things appear to be going, you know, things do seem to be getting better. I have literally this morning sent an email to all my PT clients and stuff, just to say we're very hopeful that the 4th of July will go ahead. So if you want to start having to think about, you know, what you want to do moving forwards and stuff, as a gym, you know, we've just tried to be very proactive. We've got a deep clean booked in with the professionals for next week. So we do pride ourselves anyway on the cleanliness and tidiness and stuff of the gym. We always have done. It's always been a huge thing for us anyway. But yeah, we've asked the pros to come in and do a thorough deep clean just to ensure it's, you know, it's as hygienic and safe as possible for next month. We've got various sort of sanitizer stands and stations and stuff all on order. Like you mentioned about the wipes and stuff like that, they're all going to be dotted around. And then from a sort of software point of view, you know, it's something we've toyed with the idea for a while, and you know, like I was saying earlier about the sort of software available to PTs and stuff. There's obviously lots of different software for gyms and clubs and stuff like that, and again, you know, some are going to be better than others, so we've never kind of like rushed into this decision of who we're going to go with, but the guys who we're getting set up with now, sort of as we speak, are going to be able to offer us a members app. So anyone can download the app when they join, but as part of or within this app, they will also be able to access a full induction process. So we've got to decide whether it will be a full pre-recorded one big long video of an induction, or we may break it down into the individual machines. But again, I think it's just that thing of just trying to be proactive, so that in theory, if there are social distancing guidelines still in place, somebody could potentially be sat at home thinking, I need to do something, I need to join a gym. They can join the gym online, which they can do that through our website anyway. That's always been the case for a long while. But then they can also watch the induction. So rather than having to come into us, sit down with us, fill out the Park U form and have an hour or so with one of the trainers and them taking them round and showing them everything, we can actually do this all through the app. They can watch it all on there. But then obviously we will just highlight the fact that if they do need any further help, you know, there's always going to be trainers on hand to do that. But I think it's just kind of getting that balance really, because we still want that personal connection with people. I would genuinely hate it if somebody joined online, watched the induction online, and then came in and trained and I'd not said hello to them. I would hate that. I like to know who the new faces are, know the names and stuff like that. So it's just getting that nice balance.
I can remember coming up to your old place, mate, and we're literally, "You're right, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing?" And you were like naming names. I'm like, "What? You know everyone?
Yeah.
Came through the door. You're like, yeah, how you doing, Fred? How you doing, George?" I was like, wow. You know,
one of my earliest sort of pep talks from somebody in the industry was, if you can remember somebody's name and a little bit of something about them, it will reap dividends. You know what I mean? Because I've always tried to do that, because it's a completely sort of genuine thing as well. It's who I am. I am friendly and stuff, and I like to get to know people. But I think the reason why we have such a so much longevity with our members and memberships and stuff, we haven't got a massive turnover of people leaving and new people coming in. A lot of members have been coming to us for years and years and years, and I think that's partly down to how we are with these people. If it's a case of remembering that, oh, there's Terry and he's an Arsenal fan, all it takes is for him to walk through the door. Hey, Terry, how you doing, mate? Oh, good result for the Gunners at the weekend. And it's just that little bit of interaction, and makes him feel that he's not just a number. Makes him.
Do you feel those gyms are, that style of gym is going out the window?
I think it's less and less. I think independent gyms like ours. I think there is a bit of a fight on our hands, really, because there are so many of the large. Once upon a time, the large corporate gyms were your LA Fitnesses, your David Lloyd, places like that. So it was a bit of a battle with them, but they were sometimes, a slightly different end of the scale to your typical local independent gym, because the local independent gym might be £20-30 a month. Your David Lloyd, your LA Fitnesses were maybe £50-60 or whatever a month. So at least there was a bit of a difference. But then, of course, all the budget ones came along, all the 24-hour and £16 a month all in and stuff. So there's certainly a bit of a fight there. But I think, I think if the independent gyms do it right.
How many have you got around your area? There's you. There's a couple of others, isn't there?
What is the independent ones, or just in general? Independent, yeah. We have, including, there's a martial arts gym and more of a boxing gym as well. Including those guys, there's probably 5 or 6 in the town where I am. But alongside that, we've also got, we had an Anytime Fitness, which is now closed. They've closed that venue down. But we have got another. There's a more sort of budget chain of gyms in the area now, and there's still the same leisure centre that, as I say, I worked in many moons ago. That one's still flying as well, and it's remained a massive place. They have actually moved since I worked there. They've got a brand new facility, and yeah, I mean, the members they had when I worked there, they must have been on 2,500-3,000 adult memberships back then. So God only knows what it is now with the bigger facility they've got. So yeah, but we're in an area, certainly between the independent gyms. There's a lot of sort of mutual respect. One of the ones in particular who, have built up an amazing facility and reputation. I really, really take my hat off to them, because they've done an amazing job. I mean, it's been some serious funding. But yeah, there's, and I know the guys who actually, I mean, they're only 2 or 3 miles down the road from where Arena Health and Fitness is. But yeah, I know the guys quite well, and it's that mutual thing where, I remember contacting them a couple of years ago. I was looking to get a new piece of kit for Arena, and I sent them a message because somebody had said that they got this particular piece of kit at this other gym. And I sent a message on Facebook, hope things are cool, hope you're right, blah, blah, blah. What's your opinion on this bit of kit? I've heard you've got it. And their response was, come round and have a look at it. So there's a real nice kind of respect there. And myself and my business partner, we're on a Facebook group specifically for independent gym owners, and it's just a nice little community, really, just people helping each other out and bouncing ideas off each other. So I think, like I say, it's not easy. It's probably harder than it's ever been for independent gyms, but yeah, I think that the way I see it with that other independent gym I've just mentioned in this town, the way I look at it is the volume of members that both of our gyms have got. There's enough people in this town to go around. If you're good enough and focus on what you're doing, and don't go around slating other places or whatever, then you never gonna have an issue.
Yeah, definitely. Well, mate, I'm going to wrap this up because obviously we're looking forward to getting the gyms back open on the 4th of July, hopefully.
Absolutely. Fingers crossed.
And it's great to have you on board on this podcast and have your opinions of the industry, etc., etc. What I'd like you to do is let everyone know, definitely up and down this country, I've got followers on all my stuff. I'll send some stuff across to you if you wish. But I'd definitely like to have the links to all your socials so everyone can, when they, subscribe, like, etc., they can copy the links and come and see you. Maybe, come down, have a day.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
Eyes are back open. I will definitely be popping up in the near future and seeing the new place, because I can remember the old place, and
it would be great to get you to come up and have a look around, Chris, and give us your opinions and stuff. It'd be great to see you.
I might do a video on that and bring it in and start going, "Oi, there's a bit of dust here. There's a bit of dust."
You won't find any dust.
Okay. Well, ladies and gents, you've heard this. This is a first. I'm going to come up to Arena Health and Fitness, and if I find a spot of dust in my video, which will go out, Martin owes me a massive dinner out with some beers. Yeah? And if I don't find any, I'll take him out to dinner.
Deal?
Okay, mate.
Deal.
So, yeah, let us know where we can get hold of you, how we can get hold of you, or which is best to get hold of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, as you've heard, the gym name is Arena Health and Fitness UK, which we're down as under that name on Facebook and Instagram. We don't currently use Twitter. The website is www.arenahealthandfitness.co.uk. I also, for my sort of PT side of things, which, I do sort of various, it's not just the personal training, there's a little bit of online coaching, and I've also ran 1 or 2 health retreats abroad as well, which is something that I'm looking to do more of. Unfortunately, this year's got cancelled, obviously, with everything that's happened. So my other website for that is www.thefitnessmentor.co.uk. So I'm just kind of sort of building that brand a little bit as a sort of different entity to the gym. But yeah, like Chris says, if anyone ever wants to pop by, if they're in the area, it's Newark-on-Trent, which is kind of bang in the middle between Nottingham and Lincoln. Decent sized town, plenty of car parking available at the gym. And yeah, if you want to pop by and have a session, more than welcome.
Rightio. We'll do a little link for that. Then if they mention Chris, say from Facebook, Instagram, obviously, we'll say Chris 10. So then you've got a code. I'll put that code in the bottom. I'll let Martin, at his discretion, with his business partner, to come up with a deal for a day rate on that one. But guys, honestly, if you are in the Lincoln area and you do want PT, or even better, obviously this is going to go on my Facebook, and this is represented in 113 countries. If you really want to learn an old style way of training properly, this is a guy to hook yourself up with, okay? Even if it's online, I'm sure Martin will facilitate that wherever you are on this planet. But guys, girls, thanks very much today.